What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Did anybody catch what them young Republicans said? The future of the Republican Party? Did anybody see that? Huh? Hey Brandon, Black Republican, did you see that? Are you gonna do a 3-hour video on that? Or are you just gonna talk about, the latest black this and black that? Because you want to hold black people accountable because that's your job. But you're not gonna hold no Republicans. Is this your party? Huh? What about Anton Daniels? Is this your party? Huh? This your party? What about that Humpty Dumpty Anton Daniels, Republican? Is this your party? This who you support? These your peoples? Huh? Why you trying to hold black people accountable, right? These your peoples, right? O'Shea, Mr. Republican, are these your people? Because you're just a Republican. Remember, you don't care what anybody think. Why you holding, Pan-Africans accountable for what ethno-nationalists are doing? What about these Republicans? Because you are a Republican, right? You're a proud Republican. You voted for Trump. You going to talk about this? Are any of you black Republicans going to talk about this? This is the future of the Republican Party. Your party. While y'all sit there and talk about the Democrats as if they are in charge, while y'all talk about how the Democrats is so evil and they did all this, even though in the real world, all of our political success has been on the Democratic side. All of our political success have been coming from the Democratic side. All of our political power in America, it's on and located on the Democratic side, like it or not. Because anybody with any political awareness knows that the Democrats are a big tent with different ideologies within it. Progressive, liberals, neocons, centrists, all kinds of different types of thought processes, ideologies within that party. What part of the Republican Party are you from? What part of the Republican Party do y'all roll with? That's what I want to know. I want to know what part of the Republican Party do you black coons work for? What part of the Republican ideology do you work for? Because all I hear is y'all holding black people accountable. What policies do y'all support? Huh? Name me one Republican policy you report. Because I don't see y'all talking about shit the Republicans are doing right now. Y'all talking about everybody else, diddy-daddy and everybody, anybody and everything but with the party that you support so goddamn proud. Because for the last couple years when the campaign was going, y'all was Republican, Trump. Now y'all quiet as a motherfucking church mouse. While trying to hold other people accountable without holding you, your political decisions, your political party accountable. That's hypocritical. If there ever was a hypocritical thing, that's a hypocritical thing. I just want to know where you black social media coon conservatives, what y'all gonna do about this? This is your political party. This is your belief system. These your peeps. These your political family. This who you support. Ride or die, no matter what people call you. All y'all people calling me this, they calling me A, they calling me this. Yes, why you think they calling you that? Won't you clarify and tell us what part of the Republican? Matter of fact, all them daggone political black coons who is supporting Donald Trump, where they at now? Did they get any political positions? What about that goddamn that Brahmin, that Indian, huh? That untouchable? What he get? Nothing. Well, all you melanated conservative coon ass Negroes, what the hell have you gotten out the deal so far, other than some rage bait on the internet? That's what I want to know. I mean, that's really what I want to know. Are y'all going to do a 3-hour video on this? Are y'all going to do several lives every day on this topic? Huh? Since y'all care about African Americans so much. FBA, what y'all going to do? Huh? Since y'all so against the Democrat, all of a sudden, y'all became politically aware, FBA, Black MAGA. Since y'all so into politics now, right? And y'all hate the Democrats. Y'all hate them so much. They're such the devil. They're evil. They're this. They're that. So tell me what part of the game is this on the Republican side? Huh? You support this? You support these? Are these your folks? Are these your peoples? Because these are nationalists. These are ethno-nationalists. You guys are ethno-nationalists. So y'all kumbaya, right? Huh? What about Fresh and Fit? What y'all gonna do? Huh? What about them coon-ass twins? Them coon-ass twins? Huh? Y'all think they're gonna make y'all a secondary a secondary place where y'all coon asses can go and have y'all little village and shit? Because they ain't gonna let y'all in they shit. They already done told you that shit. How many more right-wing coon grifters are y'all going to interview so you can get them ad revenue dollars from YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram? Huh? Why don't you answer that? Because I know all the videos y'all do, y'all sky on in there looking for some black this, looking for some black that, and y'all talk about it like it represents everybody. But y'all ain't got shit to say about the Republican Party. Y'all ain't got shit to say about the youth of the Republican Party. Them freaking little baby neo-Nazis just growing up. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all quiet as a church mouth. Why should anybody take any of you black Republicans serious when y'all talking about holding people accountable when you can't even hold your own political party accountable? The people y'all ride or die for. Y'all can't hold them accountable. Y'all don't make any videos on them. That's why people think you agents. Because you are clearly biased. You are clearly one-sided. You are not even killed. You are all hypocrites. Y'all either grifting or y'all stupid. Which one is it? Y'all either grifting or y'all stupid. It gotta be one of them. Y'all either don't believe the shit that you saying, right? What makes you a grifter, or you do believe the shit that you saying, and it makes you a dumbass traitor to your black community. Period. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Some bad apples. These are the future of the Republican Party. This was so vile. It is hard to find the words to put into context that these are people who are part of a political party, one of two major political parties, and they believe in gas chambers and rape and discrimination based on the color of people's skins. These are racist, sexist, disgusting remarks. And I would say this. We have a leader from the Republican Party in this state, the highest ranking individual, who in the backdrop of all this calls our candidate for mayor, one of our candidates for mayor, a jihadist and a terrorist, and then somehow says, oh, what they said, these young Republicans, was wrong. Like, look at what you say yourself. Look at your inflammatory words. And maybe they have an effect on these young people, many of whom you support and have supported you. And you ought to just do a little re-examination of how far this has gone, where this is normalized enough that thousands of texts are uncovered. This is not one person saying they love Hitler. This is a whole lot of people saying things that are so disgusting and so abhorrent that everybody from the president on down should condemn them. And there's got to be consequences. Kick them out of the party. Take away their official roles. Stop using them as campaign advisors. There needs to be consequences. This bullshit has to stop.
So, this is insane, the biggest story in politics today, but it's also entirely expected if you've been paying attention to the Republican Party since Donald Trump got into office. Leaders of young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked. And then it got leaked. They referred to black people as this and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about doing this to their enemies and driving them to do that. I can't say some of these things because of social media, but I am dedicated to not letting these people get away with it. So I'm going to show you their texts and then we're going to put a face to some of them. Right here, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, said PG. And that person is this guy, Peter Gunta. He was referencing a vote for him to take over this massive Republican organization, and he lost, by the way, and said anybody that votes no is going to be punished. And then BW says, when do we start bullying, dude? That guy is Bobby Walker, who has other really disgusting texts. And he says, if they vote for us, why would they be gassed? Then AK says, when do we bring that side out? That right there is Ann K. Katie. This person. And it actually gets worse. JM says, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the blank aesthetic. That guy is Joe Maligno. And there he is right there. Vice President, Staten Island Young Republican Club. And notice all the reactions to the text messages as well. They line up with names, of course. And then Ann K. Katie also said, I'm ready to watch people, you know. William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used these words and variations of racial slurs more than a dozen times in the chat. This is William Hendricks. You know, I'm really starting to see a theme with all these people. They all just look kind of similar, don't they? And the final one is this guy named Alex Dwyer saying, he did say my delegates I bring will vote for the most right-wing person. And then that Peter Gunta loser said, great, I love blank. And notice how Alex Dwyer put a smiley face on that text. He loved it. This is Alex Dwyer, by the way. I highly recommend you go read that Politico article because there's far more than I can fit into this one video, but it is truly appalling. This is the kind of rhetoric, the kind of behavior that Donald Trump has inspired. All of those people have sworn allegiance to Donald Trump. It's not by accident.
This is a video that is hard to make, but essential, one that every single American needs to see to know what the future of American politics has in store, to know who these people are as we watch who they will become tomorrow. A private Telegram chat among young Republican leaders has been exposed, and what it reveals is deeply disturbing. It's really f***ed up. Over 2,900 pages of messages spanning the course of 7 months since Trump has become president, showing a pattern of racist slurs, anti-Semitic remarks, and violent threats and rhetoric that's blown my mind. There were members in this chat who talked about sending rivals to gas chambers, who talked about using a certain type of shower to disintegrate their opponents, to attack people, harm those who don't agree with them. This chat used racial slurs, homophobic epithets, and the R-word slur more than 251 times combined. People in this chat referred to black people as monkeys, as the watermelon people. When someone mentioned watching an NBA playoff game, the response was, if I wanted to see that, he'd go to the zoo. They made fun of Grape. They routinely use the number 1488. They proudly talked about supporting slavery. These are just some of the things that were revealed in this Politico article. These people were some of the most promising Republicans in this country, some of the most well-connected, some of the most influential, and some of the most resourced. And this is what they think about their fellow Americans. This is how they talk about the rest of us. I don't know how this can't bring up for you a number of revelations about where we are today and how we have allowed young people to move beyond the key principles of what makes America America because of the current political climate that we have allowed, that we have elected, that we have put into office.
According to a newly leaked group chat, when young Republican leaders think they're among friends, they joke about sexual assault, fantasize about ethnic cleansing, and praise Hitler. I'm not being dramatic. These newly obtained messages show them saying things like, I love Hitler, talking about putting their opponents in gas chambers, and calling black people monkeys. As someone who works in youth politics, but on the other side of the aisle, I'm not at all surprised, but I am deeply frustrated because we have been screaming from the rooftops for years that the people we are organizing against are literal Nazis. But every time we bring that up, we get accused of having hostile rhetoric. Well, what do you call it when someone loves Hitler and wants to put their opponents in a gas chamber? That's a Nazi. I'm also frustrated because this didn't just happen. This is the result of the Republican Party being the only one to take seriously the need to invest in new media, in podcasts, in content creators to be able to reach the next generation. It has never been more obvious that we are so far behind, that we have lost the plot to an extent that the next generation of leaders in this country are talking about the Hitler aesthetic. This video doesn't even touch the full breadth of horrific things that are said in this group chat. There's thousands of messages. I would get blocked for saying half of the things that they say, but I am so deeply concerned about the safety and security of women, of minorities, of gay people in this country, and we all should be after seeing what the next generation of Republican leaders is planning.
Massive leak has exposed high-ranking young Republicans using racial slurs, praising slavery, idolizing Hitler, and making violent threats, all in a private chat. These are the leaders in young Republican chapters across New York, Kansas, Arizona, and more. These chats included calling black people monkeys and watermelon people, talking about putting their political opponents in gas chambers, joking about rape, that's a classic, praising slavery, and yes, literally saying, I love Hitler. And now that it's all out, don't worry, there will be plenty of time for fake apologies. It'll all be taken out of context. We didn't mean it like that. It was a private chat. Boys will be boys. Locker room humor. You know, basically the stuff that we've said about our president. But this isn't funny. This isn't trolling. This is literal dangerous ideology disguised as a political club for young professionals. This is the Charlie Kirk effect. Now, I wish I could say that I was surprised by any of this, but I was literally like, yeah, that all tracks. When you continue to build on hateful rhetoric, what do you think is going to happen? And we all know the party that bills itself as the free speech party loves to silence everyone else. But are you guys cool with this? Like, I want to know from the Republicans or the MAGA people that watch my videos, because I know there's a lot of you. Like, are you good with your leaders being this way? I guess you shouldn't answer that, though, because you guys all voted for Donald Trump twice.
A group chat of the leaders of young Republican groups across the country just leaked, and it's about as bad as you'd expect. Let's look at some of the highlights, shall we? Firstly, here's who's confirmed to be in that group chat. And these adults, not kids, adults who are at the helm of groups representing the next generation of Republicans, were so concerned that if the chats of their Telegram group ever leaked, they would be cooked for real. And yet they just kept typing for 7 months, 2,900 pages, in which they refer to black people as monkeys, they muse about putting their political opponents in gas chambers, they talk about raping their enemies until they're driven to suicide, and they laud Republicans who believe in slavery. This guy, William Hendricks, used the N-word more than a dozen times and said that he likes the Missouri young Republicans because Missouri doesn't tolerate. Bobby Walker asked when they were going to start bullying people and called rape epic. He then talked about how his friend was dating a very obese Indian woman, to which this guy, Samuel Douglas, who's a senator, said that she wasn't Indian, she just didn't bathe very often. This guy, Peter Guinta, is a piece of work. Remember him because we're going to come back to him. He was running for election for the Young Republicans National Federation, and he said that everyone that votes no against him should get the gas chambers, to which Joe Maligno said, can we fix the showers? Because gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. And Annie K. Katie responded that she's ready to watch people burn now. That Peter Guinta guy eventually lost the nomination to some guy named Hayden, and this person, Luke Mossamons, his response was to say, rape Hayden. Back to this thing, some of the other things he said in the chat in no particular order are, I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers. If your pilot's a she and is 10 shades darker than a Sicilian, end it right there. I love Hitler. When asked if he was watching the NBA playoffs, he said he'd go to the zoo if he wanted to watch a monkey play ball. And after he lost to Hayden, here's what he had to say about the chapters who voted against him. Since the Political article has come out, every young Republican chapter and every Republican in media and Congress are coming out saying, we are shocked. These are not our values. This group chat does not represent us. So I'm here to ask, doesn't it though? Because I converse online with Republicans every day and this totally tracks. If you're shocked, that means you're not very good at your jobs because this is exactly what you are enabling. And if you're shocked, I'm here to tell you that the Republican Party of old no longer exists. The Republican Party of new is exactly what that group chat is today. You cannot be okay with ICE separating families unless you hold those values. You cannot be okay with the president posting ASMR videos of people getting deported and AI videos of Democratic congressmen unless you hold those values. You cannot be okay with the National Guard being released on American citizens unless you hold those values. You cannot be okay with women's bodies being controlled and being turned into second-class citizens unless you hold these values. If you are shocked by this article and you identify as Republican, I would encourage you to take a long, hard look at what you think you stand for. And if you're one of the people on Twitter right now who's like, well, yeah, we all talk like this in private, baby, who is we?
Bitch, Politico just dropped the craziest, fireest bomb on us. Okay, so tell me why it was a group chat on Telegram in which these Republican leaders during the last elections was all chatting with each other, right? Baby, Politico dropped the text. The whole text thread, including the names of the people that was saying all this racist shit, calling the black people monkeys and the watermelon people talking about how they was going rape the people that voted no. I swear to God, let's take a look. This shit is crazy. Okay, so whip the out the boom, the bam. Look. So everyone that votes no goes to the gas chambers saying how they love Hitler. Are you going to do whatever it takes? This all this honestly feels like a sex group. I'm not gonna lie. This feels like a sex cult. This feels like a sex group. When do we start bullying? Dude, boom, they're dead. They love the watermelon people. Yo, he also hates the Jews. This girl is fully it starts with the R, ends with a D. It has a T in it. Stated, it's a word that we not supposed to use that describes people that are mentally underdeveloped due to cognitive disabilities. Yeah. Stay in the closet, FAGGOT. And everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to the G chambers, kick the B. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. I'm ready to watch people burn now. Right. So I know y'all wondering, like, who in the hell are these young Republicans that are saying this stuff? So here's a few more of their chats. You can pause it to read. Boom, boom, boom. I know y'all see this. This is crazy that they talking like this, right? So boom, right there at the bottom. Peter, Gunta, Bobby Walker, and K Katie, Joe Maligno, Rachel Hope, Alex Dwyer. Yes. Yes, they were all in there talking about this, talking about, can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit. The Hitler aesthetic. Joe Maligno stated, who previously identified himself as the general counsel of the New York State Young Republicans, wrote back. Oh, y'all, y'all is some shit right now. Oh my God. So the leaders of the young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat was ever leaked, right? But they kept typing anyways. They referred to, this is stuff that they posted in their own group chat where they was like, damn, like if we get caught up on this group chat chain, they gonna have our head on the mantelpiece, and indeed we will, but I'm trying to clock T. They referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about graping their enemies and driving them to suicide, and lauded Republicans who they believe support slavery. You cannot make this up. You cannot make this up, okay? Now, I know for a fact, only because I have in my possession on a separate drive, some other group chats where a lot of people that was pro-poly was also they were also doing similar stuff like this in secret group chains and chats. Now, what I do know is, okay, a lot of people that were in these Republican groups were also, and Zios were also making fake pages and targeting people of color during the election. I know that for certain. I know that for fact. And a lot of us know that. Like, a lot of us saw it in real time and know it wasn't all bots, because a lot of the time they would gaslight us into thinking it was all bots. Some of them were Republicans. Some of them were people that were claiming to be pro-poly but really was trolling from behind fake accounts. And another portion of them were Zios. And they would come in waves and they would all do it around the exact same time. So this is only one piece to the big puzzle. But trust and believe, them other group chats is for sure going to get leaked. And if you think about deleting it right now, baby, you got to be quicker than that, because I'm telling you, by the time that thing made it to my telly, I was like, no fucking way. And there was another person that it was brought to me particularly. It was brought to me, and somebody was asking me to out him. And that wasn't the first time, but it was like 2 or 3 times where they was asking me to out this particular person. And I'm like, that may be true that they doing that, but I'm not about to be the one to have people focus on this crazy stuff that they're doing in these Discords, because it's not just in here, it's on Discord too. It's on Discord too. I'm not going to be the one that exposed the situation, because one, that's counterproductive to what's going on and what we're trying to focus on with the elections and with Palestine and Congo, Sudan. 2, them people going to do that regardless, and it will be exposed one day. I verbatim said this to 2 to 3 different people that sent me over some stuff on Telegram. And I said their time will come, they will be exposed, but it won't be by my hand. And sure enough, I never saw this text chain, but I know very similar text chains, that photos that were sent over to me. And I said, I'm going to just let it play out. Because if I do it, I'm an angry black woman who's trying to collect a quick buck. If I do it, but seeing it come to light, best believe the remainder of them other group chats will be leaked. Believe that. This is crazy. Boots. Oh, also in around the time old girl Tori got into it with somebody else. I don't know if y'all remember Tori. She got into it with another person on here. Some other text chains had came out. And I don't know how many people got that, but the way y'all was talking about Just the way I was talking about the situation in general was real foul. It was grimy and filthy. And yeah, this is nothing new. There are more on Discord. Now, according to these chats, Peter, Giunta, Peter, what's up with you and saying the N-word so often? Bobby Walker, what's up with y'all and throwing around the N-word? William Hendricks, the Kansas Young Republicans vice chair, used the words "igga" and "igga," variations of racial slurs, but they was all using it on the text chain. They was all using it and referred to grape as epic. They were excited about graping people. Who at the time was the chair of the same organization, wrote in a message sent in June, "Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber." Giunta was referred to an upcoming vote on whether he should become chair of the Young Republican National Free Federation, the GOP's $15,000 member political organization for Republicans between 18 to 40 years old. "I'm going to create some of the greatest psychological torture methods," this is what he said, "known to man. We only want true believers," he continued. 2 members of the chat responded. Child, this shit is crazy.
As Republican leadership attempts to brand Democrats as a bunch of terrorists, as they claim anyone who goes to a No Kings rally is the same as a Hamas supporter, as they draft official policy guidance treating anyone who disagrees with Trump as the same as a extremist threat to this country's national security, we see that in fact it is Republicans who are the extremists, the fascists, the racists, and the ones who advocate for violence and even the return of slavery. What I'm talking about is a bombshell story in Politico that just dropped that exposed 28,000 group chat messages over 7 months in between young Republican leadership in official positions across the country, including someone who spoke at the Republican National Convention and members of the Trump administration. Let's talk about what they said and let's talk about who they are to prove who the really baddies are in this country's political situation. They said, "I love Hitler." They glorified rape. They said anyone who disagrees with Republicans should not only be burned alive, but in fact should be given the gas chamber. They said the Holocaust was great. They want to reinstate slavery. They mocked disabled veterans. Of course, mocked, African-American people, and every single immutable characteristic that a person can have from race, national origin, and religion on down the line was the subject of racial slurs and other insults. In fact, there were 251 racial slurs across this group. And key, nobody said no. Nobody said stop. They just egged each other on, laughing, smiling, flame emojis. That's it. It was clearly something, and it remains core to the political identity of Republicans, and especially the young Republicans coming up into leadership positions and infecting the platform of that party. So we're talking about the chair of the Arizona Young Republicans, a senior advisor in the Trump administration, the Kansas Young Republican vice chair, the New York Young Republican chair, who actually almost won the national leadership position for that organization across the entire country. On and on and on. It included even a general counsel for the New York Young Republicans, someone who swore an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and wants to replace it with 1939 Germany. Absolutely insane. This is who they are, and they cannot deny the label that they've earned. Remember it, hold them to it, don't apologize. It's the truth.
Oh, well, both parties are the same. Were you homeschooled by a pigeon? I mean, tell me, you window licker, which party is it that's got a fucking hard-on for taking food out of hungry kids' mouths? And while they're at it, taking their fucking health coverage, too? Which party is it that's actively protecting pedophiles? Which party is it that's got fucking masked agents walking around zip-tying kids together? Which fucking party is that? Oh, and I'm not done. Which party is it that would like to prescribe a way of life to everyone in this fucking country, and if you dare to live your life just a little different, they'd love to criminalize that? Which party is it that spits in the face of scientific fucking miracles at the cost of deaths of children because they did their own research? Which fucking party is that? And don't mistake this for me kissing the feet of the Democratic Party. I've got a laundry list of issues with them. But this pretense that both parties are the same is the dumbest fucking thing I've heard in my entire life. And it almost always comes from people who don't want to admit they made a mistake by voting for Trump. So either grow up and own the mistake or get fucked.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan.
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.